Set for half two. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings defense getting ready to go. They had a pretty solid first half. Not many adjustments, but I guess there's probably always some adjustments that can be made.
Usually it's just tightened down on the things we've worked on all week in practice. Everyone thinks adjustments are bringing in something absolutely new. For the most part, it's tweaks or just emphasizing what you've worked on already. And that's what they're planning to do here in the second half.
They won't be looking to reinvent the wheel. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. Complete. 20, 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Their big-bodied receiver, 75 yards. And the Falcons cut into that lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it's 17-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
So they're behind the chains as the offense. 12 yards needed on third down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to float this one deep. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Their dangerous wide receiver, 75 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, That meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger-pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Messy. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Well, they held them to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at them. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will push this lead up to 20 now. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
This is taken at his 4. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. 1st level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Back to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And they'll run it here. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I didn't have to stretch for this one. This is 4-down territory. They've got to get it in with the deficit that they're facing.
Absolutely. It's not the 4th quarter, but still, I think you can't be thinking 3 here.
No, if you do that, you might as well go ahead and fold up on this one. But I don't think they're built like that.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
And his kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So he missed a field goal earlier, but he says not this time, and he's able to knock it through to give his guys 3.
And that's all you want as a kicker, a chance to redeem yourself. You got to have a short memory if you're going to survive at this level, and he's able to get back on track.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
They'll set up a throw. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. And now that Brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. Super tough.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. They're going to look to throw. Looking deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on 3rd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he loses the football a 2nd time. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
One quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
So for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary now on third. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down.
I like what they were thinking on defense. Just guard the first down sticks. Don't let anyone pass that. Didn't matter whether they threw it or ran it. They just ended up rallying to the football in the running play and stopped them short of a first down.
The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. This is taken around the 12. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now back to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
They go play action here on 1st down. Surveying the field to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. So the offense needing 4 yards. It's 3rd down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Back to throw here. He's got time. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They'll get 17 yards there. And the Falcons are going to get a first. A lot of time there, partner, in the protected pocket, and he was able to deliver.
The guys protecting the passer have allowed him plenty of time to go through his progressions and find open receivers.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. Back to throw again. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you are.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. Well, call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. They don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll set up a throw. He's got time in the pocket, and this will be incomplete.
The defensive coordinator came into this game with a plan to get to the quarterback with whatever type of pressure is necessary. It's working to perfection for him today.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go. 3-19.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Watch tight. Tight end right. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. scrimmage, back at the 6. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Well, interceptions have been a problem in this one. If he could have gotten his feet down here, it would have been another.
Would have been a huge one. They've had a great game taking the ball away. Thought they had another one, just unable to get those cleats in bounds.
They'll look to throw on, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Their dangerous wide receiver. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Falcons get a bit closer.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a 2-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a 2-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
And the lead is trimmed down to 10. A 10-play drive that time. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's the option going right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
4 down, check, 4 down.
Set, 3-19. And to give this time to the tailback. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. So still a full 10 yards to go here for the offense on 3rd down.
Hey, we got let's go. No, check, Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
And Brandon, it's really no surprise to see them running the ball here. They've got the lead. There's not much time left. They just want to keep the clock moving and seal the win.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They go down to a knee, and that will do it. They are moving on here in the playoffs. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, this from 45 yards away. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.